Hi, my name is Irda, and I'm also known as Audrey Rodemeyer, and I'm going to be doing a video synopsis of the work that you see behind me. I thought it best to do it this way. I could have obviously just written it all down, but since I've been recording my entire journey, I thought it wise to conclude it with a video synopsis. So the panels that you see behind me consist of 3 panels. They are 1.2 meters tall and 1 meter wide each, so obviously 3 meters then. And they're going to be hanging on a wall of 5 meters wide across. So hopefully this is the aim, that it will present quite well. I used graphite and water-soluble graphite and charcoal whilst completing this piece. And there are still some elements that I think I'm going to be tweaking here and there, doing a little bit of finagling, and because I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy with it as is. When is an artist ever happy with their work, right? But yes, so I'm going to do this in a couple of snippets, I think is the right terminology, but I'm going to be breaking up the videos, so this is just basically the introduction, and then I'm going to describe to you what all the metaphors and the symbols and so forth mean and how it ties into the theme. Now, the theme. The theme was given to me. It's not something that I chose, but it is something that I do deeply resonate with. The theme is justice. Okay, so this is my personal view. I can't verify it with research or whatever, but if I could say, I would, that it is my feeling that there are 3 forms of justice. One is justice in a court, when you're represented by a professional and they have all of the lingo that can get you out of really, really deep shit because they know how. The other is mob justice, which is a not so uncommon occurrence, not only in South Africa, but I think worldwide. And I think it's been a reoccurring theme, especially recently. And I am quite up to date with politics, world politics, and it is something that I've been seeing happening more and more and more, is the unstable nature of the democratic system worldwide, and in many senses the failure of the justice system. And this is when mobs rise up and they do tend to take things into their own hands, because the wheel of justice does just not turn fast enough. Yes, I'm not even going to reference the very unfortunate and very front of mind situations that are currently going on in the world, number of countries. Okay, and then the third form, which I think is perhaps the most important, and perhaps I think the only one that really matters, is the justice hereafter. I mean, you can only get away with something for so long, and then there's a final judge that presides over everything, who sees everything, who knows everything, and who writes everything in the big book. So those are my 3 forms of justice. So in this work, I've done my very best to try and represent all 3 forms in the best way I knew how, without trying to overcomplicate it, and with obviously the aid of a couple of well-known symbols and some not so well-known symbols that are made up, that I know the meaning of, and some that I believe can be inferred to someone who is well versed in the concepts of justice. And not even, I mean, I think really some of these I think are universal, and whether or not you know the system, I think you'll be able to understand and resonate with what I try to say. So, like I said, this is an introduction. Later on, I will have a friend ask me some questions, because I think that it will open up the scope and will help with evaluating, assessing, and creating the synopsis to make it well-rounded. And I do not want to leave anything else. And of course, I am going to leave some things to the imagination, because I think that you do not need to explain absolutely everything. Death of the author, after all, may mean something to me, specific, and it may mean something completely different to the viewer. Therefore, yes, I will try to do my best, and I hope that you follow along, and I hope that I make it clear. Right.